Chaplain, please.
Let's stand and pray, and then we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Father God, we just thank you for today. We thank you for this new year. Thank you for the holidays. There's so much to be thankful for, and I pray that you'll be with this meeting tonight as we go through some of the stuff we need to do at the first of the year. Just help each person to do what they're asked to do, and especially for this county. Continue to be with our first responders that are out there and doing what they do so well, and we're grateful for how they protect our county and get there as soon as they can. And we just thank you for that. And we do this all in Jesus' name. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, I'll call the January 5th meeting of the Burleigh County Park Board to order. First item is roll call of members.
Commissioner Bakken?
Here.
Commissioner Schwab?
Here.
Commissioner Herman?
Here.
Commissioner Boehm? Commissioner Boehm? Commissioner Woodcox?
Here.
Commissioner Munson?
Here.
Chairman Bittner?
Here. Next, consideration of the December 1, 2025 meeting minutes.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion is second to approve. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Schwab?
Yes.
Commissioner Herman?
Yes.
Commissioner Woodcox?
Yes.
Commissioner Munson?
Yes.
Commissioner Bakken?
Yes.
Chairman Bittner?
Yes, motion carries. Next item is public comment. It is restricted to Burleigh County residents and landowners. Does anybody wish to offer any public comment? Second call, does anybody wish to offer any public comment? This is a public comment period. Third and final call. Anybody wish to offer any public comment? I'll close the public comment section. And next, Commissioner Schwab, discuss future park management. Commissioner Schwab.
Am I allowed to discuss this, Jerry?
Yes,
Am I allowed to speak on this stuff?
the stuff on the email? Yeah.
I'm always weird. Anyway, to kind of update things, some things, we have room for a park administrator or ranger, whatever, up at the highway department. We've got it set up for him. We're gonna put him right next to Darren Johnson so they can play pinochle. Anyway, that's an item that's taken care of. But there's some items I'd like to comment on, and I got, and another commissioner got a email from another commissioner that I think was a meeting, and on account of that, we couldn't go any further and do things that we were working on. I couldn't read what Darren Johnson had come up with. I couldn't really talk to the highway department because it was sent to sent to two commissions by one commission. So Julie said she's kind of sorted that out, find out what we can do. So I got to be able to talk to people in my departments.
So I think what you're referring to was an email that a commissioner had sent regarding information about how we were going to go forward without the Bismarck Parks and Recs taking care of things. And so you can talk to your departments about it. You just can't make any decisions with other commissioners via email. That would be consisting of a meeting. So you talking to your department, another commissioner talking to their department that they're the portfolio holder of, and then bringing all that information to this meeting so that you can all discuss that at an open meeting would be the way to do that. Not responding via email to make those decisions would be the way to proceed, because you don't want to have a meeting via email making decisions.
Well, the reason I didn't respond to the email is I've just got done doing 8+ hours of continuing ed, and this exact same thing came up, and they did call it, whoever was instructing it, a meeting. But whatever, so I really can't discuss anything else because I haven't seen this stuff. But we do have a place for the park head.
Okay, do you want to discuss the items that were in the email so we can kind of knock that around, Commissioner?
Well, you sent the email, Wayne.
You are correct, and for that I apologize. I included the second commissioner because they were asking me to make sure I communicated with you. Not thinking about open records, I was completely incorrect. The email that I sent out was basically a list of items from the Bismarck Park Board, giving us a day-by-day, week-by-week, month-by-month process that they had done for us. And so I had sent that to Commissioner Schwab along with Marcus, since he was head of the Highway Department, and there were some items on there that maybe they could help us out with. Also to Darren because of the weed officer situation, so to see if they could assist us in that. If those two departments could not, I needed to go out to find private. Both department heads did respond and say that they could. Marcus, obviously, with a limited list of items. Darren did respond that he would work up a quote with their vendor when that is chosen, when they put that out for bid for the spraying. And I also sent then a job description to head of HR to have her decide if that is the correct job description. Auditor Sponskowski helped me out quite a bit with that, and I appreciate that, Mark. So now we're just at a holding pattern of when HR gets an opportunity to look at that, and then I can bring that back to this board.
You
Okay.
also sent it to Commissioner Bakken, and that's
Yes.
where we have a
Yep.
problem.
Commissioner Bakken had asked me to make sure I was communicating with you, and I wanted Commissioner Bakken to make sure.
Communicate with
Yep.
me, I've told you several times, on the phone, because I don't like this stuff happening.
Well, just for the record, I never opened the email, so there's
Still,
technically no breach, but
I created an error.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, the building and grounds director forwarded that email to me, asking what position he should take on this. And obviously, I was not responding because of the same exact
Right.
concern. But for the record, the building and grounds department is 2 maintenance technicians short today.
Correct.
And we're not able at this point to task any maintenance staff with maintenance needs of the parks yet. Now, if something comes up that we think we could maybe handle, some small things, like fixing a doorknob or something, we would probably utilize the regular work order system that Burleigh County has in place, and we would see if we could
Sure.
accommodate that. But
Yep.
right now, the maintenance staff is really bowed up.
Oh, and I didn't ask you because you and I had a verbal conversation, and that was your response at that point. That's why I reached out to Pam to start creating a job description for a part-time seasonal that can do the dailies and the weeklies, all of the other things like garbage and sewer pumping, and all those other things are taken care of. Commissioner Schwab's group with the Highway Department has done a phenomenal job keeping the snow out of both Missouri Complex and the parks, so there's no questions there. Where I will reach out to the Director of Facilities would be purchasing items like bathroom cleaner and toilet paper that we'll have to stock somewhere so that we can do our daily and weekly checks within our parks.
Right, well, in regard to, the stock stuff, I think we maintain a significant amount of
Yep.
stock throughout the county, and I don't think that would be anything out of the ordinary.
Yep, that's.
But we want to keep it, now, just so you understand, we're going to keep it very minimal because,
Oh.
like I said, they're backed up at the jail, they're backed
Yep.
up at the courthouse, they're backed up at the
Yep.
Provident, they're.
My goal is not to ask your staff for any, because of the shortages that you are. That's why we'll look at hiring a part-time seasonal to do the majority of that work.
Right, to do the legwork. to
Daily
go and
check-ins
get-
with campers and
get,
daily check-ins with bathrooms and the minor things.
Right,
Yep.
because I'm not going to see maintenance staff driving around dropping
Oh,
off
no.
toilet paper or anything. They've got way
One-
more important things to do.
One item that we did discuss with Auditor Sponskowski as we were going down through the list is the fish cleaning station. If there is a maintenance issue there, we'll have to come up with a solution for that. Since I've never looked in one, I'm gonna have to look in one and figure out the mechanics of it, and we'll figure that out later on. But I've got a few months before we have to worry about
I
that.
wonder if North Dakota Game and Fish doesn't have somebody that is more adept at that because of additional
Yep.
facilities that they may have.
The Park District always took care of it, but I can certainly reach out to Game and Fish to see, since they sell them, or they supply them, they install them, maybe they have maintenance.
Could be,
Yeah, I'll ask.
okay.
I can show you how to fix the grinder, but that's about it.
That's what I'm gonna need help with,
Alright.
because people like to put whole geese and whole carp and whatever else down that thing
Please
without.
don't do that, just fish.
Okay, is there any other discussion that needs to happen around that item?
I think as soon as I get a chance to get back with Pam to define that part-time seasonal, then I'll reach back out to each individual commissioner to talk with their portfolios.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Anything else? Commissioner Schwab?
This guy's gonna have to have a department to work. This guy's gonna have to have a department to work out of, and it's working real good with Darren, absolutely flawless. So you have to decide what department you want him to work out of, and if you need to get 2 people hired full-time, that's fine, because we can always use them in the backside if they're out of the highway department. So that way they have staff to help them, they have supervision, and same problem I had with weed board. We're starting this thing out, and it'll work out.
Well, years ago, when we had a park ranger, there was just one person on staff, and he didn't seem to have any problem keeping up with the day-to-day. So
Yep.
at this point, I would certainly look for one and go from there. Commissioner Bakken?
Well, we've had the discussion about what that department is going to look like moving forward with some potential changes with Missouri Valley Complex and some other things. Does it make more sense to hire an FTE that could be utilized for backfill at either the highway department or with Darren? Just kind of spitballing, we would probably get more value out of somebody that could manage those, because right now there's not, seasonal part-time, but it might be easier to find an FTE that could do a little bit more. So maybe it might be worth the discussion of broadening the scope of what that position looks like.
I'm getting a head nod in the back of the room.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, so, I mean, it might be,
Yep.
might be easier just to go that route and be able to have, kind of the Swiss Army knife that, when they're not doing the park stuff, then helping out Darren or helping out the highway department, because we know that we always have use there. So what that would look like as far as HR is concerned and how you divvy up that payroll
Right.
would have to work through, but that might be the better route to go.
Because my budget. at
More
this point-
efficient.
Yeah,
It might
my-
be more efficient.
My budget can't handle a full-time. That's why
Right.
initially my thought is seasonal part-time, but
Yeah.
if Commissioner Schwab's group can use additional labor in his off time, winter,
Yeah.
you know.
Maybe visit with the
and-
department heads and
Yep.
see what that looks like, and visit with Darren and see if,
even the part-time seasonal stuff for the parks is probably 10 to 20 hours a week,
Yeah,
you know? So, yes.
You kind of,
Good evening, Commissioners.
Darren does quite a bit of stuff once in a while up there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he helps out where we need him.
Yeah. And it wouldn't hurt to have somebody else that's able to do that.
Yeah, we can always use hands, especially in the summertime.
So,
So if there's some downtime where he's not busy doing other things, we can certainly fill in the time with highway department stuff. I don't foresee that being an issue.
well, and that plays into what we've been trying to accomplish anyway, as far as
Right.
cross-pollinate positions, so that we do have that flexibility in the workforce. So this might be an opportunity to go down that road.
And if an FTE is easier to hire than a part-time seasonal,
Yeah.
I would much rather have the FTE.
Yeah,
well, the other thing is that. like
'Cause we need them.
Darren, as a full-time employee, is on a different pay scale though, because he is the weed department technically.
right.
But he's got a place where he can punch the clock and stuff, and all these records can be kept. So it'll work out.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be cleaner.
Thank
Okay.
you for bringing that up, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ann.
It sounds like we got a good path going
Yeah.
forward. Hopefully you'll work closely with Commissioner Schwab on
Absolutely.
on the duties and whatnot there.
Just email him.
I was doing what you asked. I was letting you know what I was doing. But it was incorrect.
Good
The only other
intentions.
thing I want to say about that, so everybody knows, Darren is really busy, and he's got seminars to go to. We're still upgrading. I figure by the end of this year, we'll have the #1 weed control department in North Dakota. We're computerizing, so he's not going to be able to go out and do parks.
Oh, no, no.
So, just so everybody understands, when he's got a slow time, I've been in there and somebody from the shop, Darren, we're ready to go. Well, then I'm rudely told to leave. But if you understand what I'm saying, is that it does work out.
Okay. All right. Commissioner Bach?
Just to follow up on that, the State Weed Board is this week as well, tomorrow and Wednesday. So, I do a welcome for them every year and have discussions with this on the state level. And they've paid attention, they've noticed the job that Darren's done. So kudos to Darren for that, and we're definitely going in the right direction with what we're doing in the weed board and the changes that have been made. So, and I'm hearing it back from the state level that they're very pleased with what Burleigh County's doing.
Now, I kind of think we're the example of how to do it, but there's one other caveat here. The highway department cannot have him out tarring. That's not allowed, or if you had a park ranger, that wouldn't be allowed because they're helping out the highway department, but they're not gonna go out and tar highways,
Right.
Mr.
which
Chairman,
makes sense.
Commissioner Woodcock?
discussion, a lot of this is with our one weed officer, which he's doing great, but we don't have a weed board. Do we need to have a weed board? We haven't discussed that. We've been
We are
without
the-
one.
We are the weed board.
I know, do we need a volunteer weed board?
No, he does not
That's what I
want
want
one.
to discuss.
He does not want one.
He does not want one.
He wants to come up here, you saw what he did last meeting here, a couple of meetings ago, and he wants to report directly here. I did ask him if you had a separate weed board, how many times you meet? Maybe once a year. So I'm not gonna rain on his parade, and he's doing a hell of a job. And I'm not gonna push for changing it because it's working out great, plus we're saving about $15,000 a year.
There's that.
Yeah. And like I said, all
The other thing
reports-
is, it's transparent and everything's videotaped, which we were having a problem with, and we were having a problem. Not to bring you into this, but with the illegal meetings up there at the old park board, there was no way to control it. And this way, it is scrutinized and everybody knows what's going on. There's been no decisions made up there without us right here knowing it being televised, except one. And that was if a farmer comes in and wants to buy a little milestone to spray around his corrals where the weeds really grow in the summer, we will sell it to him. You know, it costs. That's about the only thing that has never been mentioned here, and that's probably about $80. And I think maybe one guy did it.
You know, we've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
That's
But
a normal
technic-
practice.
Just not
But
utilized.
technically, we're roads and pastures, not corrals.
Oh,
But they haul all that stuff out of the corrals and spread it all over the place. We'd rather have them spray it. And if they want to do it, fine. We don't spray for them.
sure.
So that's the only thing that's never been brought up, so.
I think it's under the umbrella of weed control, though, in the whole county. I think it makes sense to continue that practice. Commissioner Bachman,
Yeah, initially my thoughts were at some point go back to the weed board or reestablish a weed board, but given what I've heard back from the state and how well it's working now, I am not in favor of changing what we're doing right now. Darren's doing a great job, and the transparency's there, which didn't exist before, which is the reason that this commission had to step in for the weed board. And I would be in favor of just leaving it the way it is right now. If something arises down the road that we need to address, it's right here, because we are the weed board. And
and it doesn't
it's
add
working. No, it doesn't add anything to
an
us.
extra burden to this commission anyway, so. Okay, anything else on that subject? Any other business for the good of Burleigh County Parks? If not, we'll adjourn the park board. Note that it's 5:22. And I'll call the January 5th meeting of the Burleigh County Commission to order. First thing to do is board reorganization, as usual, the election of a chair and a vice chair, and assignment of portfolios. And I'll turn this over, I guess, to the auditor to handle that part.
Yes, County Commissioners, at this time, I would entertain nominations for the 2026 chairmanship for the County Commission. Are there any nominations?
I would move to continue Commissioner Bittner as the chair. Just my rationale on that is just we've got so much going on that he's seen with the Provident Building until that project comes to fruition. I think you're probably best suited for that.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of balls in the air when it comes to.
Second.
All right. Are there any further nominations?
Yes, I would like to nominate Commissioner Munson for chairman.
Second.
Now, my rationale for that is exactly the same way. Commissioner Bittner's been in charge of those for several years, and the Provident Life Building is our major project, probably will be for a long time. If he retains that portfolio, he'll still be in charge of that, like he is now, as completing that project. My concern is we've had, for the last 2, 3, 4 years, we've had turmoil in half of our departments, and I think it's time for a new leadership to move forward, a new outlook, and a new cooperation with the city, which I think has really been suffering in the last couple of years. And I think he's had his hands full, and he's worked hundreds and hundreds of extra hours, which I think it's time to get a new outlook and a new leader, and let him retain the portfolio for the Provident Life Building, and everything will go along smoothly. I'm real concerned about us separating from the city. We're moving with the park board. We're moving away from that joint venture. We're moving away from the joint venture with the health department. I think for the benefit of the taxpayers of Burleigh County, which is 80% city or 85, we need to be cooperating with them, not kicking sand in their eyes every time we turn around. I think that's been happening, and that's one of the real concerns I've got. And I think we just need new direction and a new outlook.
Well, I can appreciate you saying that, Commissioner Woodcox, but I don't have much of anything to do with the city. I don't have anything to do with public health. don't have anything to do with park board. None of that had anything.
Well,
to do
when
with
we vote
my
on something,
involvement,
it's
so-
always 3-2, or the fairgrounds is the same way. Every time anything comes up for the fairgrounds and the new building we're looking at, it's 3-2, and we can't get anything done with 3-2. It's very difficult. Not that we need to be unanimous, but I just think we need a new direction and you've been at it for 3, 4, 5 years, and I think everybody should have a chance to be a chairman. Not that it's any more fun, but it's still, you realize what goes on in the county a lot more when you are the chairman. I think everybody should have a shot at it.
Well, of all those political subdivisions you mentioned, I think we're the only one that's lowering taxes, so.
That's true.
That's kind of where I draw the line on that, so.
That's great. I've heard more comment about people saying, hey, my taxes went down.
Yeah.
And then I said, look at the pie chart, and that's
Yeah.
where you
Well,
realize.
that's just it. Not everybody looks at where the lower taxes are
But
coming
they're
from.
coming, and that was a joint venture of all of us. We all did that, so very happy with that.
I have a couple comments on that. Like the highway department, weed board, and other departments, we're actually in the process of streamlining. We're saving money. And the thing about it is streamlining, it's like remodeling the kitchen. It doesn't look good until it's done and you get things going. It isn't just right now going to happen right now. I cannot support anybody that votes not to take that garrison diversion out and let the taxpayers have their mill. To me, that is, as a Catholic, it would be called a mortal sin. And the thing about it is that if anybody wants to defend this position, tell me why giving them $9 and $10 million over 10 years, and we get $800,000 back, and then they come up with an excuse. Well, if you guys had asked us for grants, we'd give them to you. So we give them the money, and then we have to ask it for back. So why in the hell are we in it? It makes no sense, and and I think there's a lot of fluff in what's been going on in this county. We've had about 4 or 5 meetings here now where people are stealing valor from the other side, the garrison diversion stealing valor by economic development to pump it up and keep the cash cow going for them. And I'm going to call it out. It's fluff. It's fluffy. There's nothing there. So that's why I'm going to support Chair Bittner.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know that the garrison diversion had anything to do with being chairman of the board any more than any other department. I don't know what the position of chairman of the board was. That had to do with garrison diversion.
Well, you referred to a 3-2 vote, Commissioner.
Yes, there are
I guess
3-2
that
on
was a
so
3-2,
many
and
departments.
that was a 3-2 vote.
Right, yes.
So I think it reflects maybe more on your position than on the majority of the board.
No, I just think we need a new direction and a new leadership. I give Chairman Munson a chance. Not Chairman Munson, I'm sorry, Commissioner Munson, a chance, because I know he wants to do it and has had for the last 3 years. And Chairman Bittner, you've been on there this time for 2 or 3 years, and previously you've been on as chairman. And I just think it's time for a new direction, a new outlook, and it really bugs me that we're not cooperating with the city. And you say we are, but I don't think we are at all.
The city doesn't cooperate with us.
It's a two-way street, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a two-way, but, sitting here and say the county doesn't try to work with the city, the mayor, during the ETA was, what does the county do for the city? Well, let's see here. Senior Citizen Center. We put a road in out of McKenzie so the sand can be hauled in for construction in Bismarck at our cost. There's numerous things that we do for the city. There's a capital crime committed, we handle it. It isn't like the city isn't getting money back, but the way it was presented was fluff again. Oh, look at this. What do you do for us? The park board come in, and what did they say? They were supposed to talk about administrative fees, and, well, no, we never turned anybody down from the parks in Bismarck. Even the county residents can use them. And I take issue with that because they were hinting that we don't let people go out and use county parks and county boat ramps. And that's running down us. And you know that.
Yeah,
He never
I-
said one thing about administrative fees. All he talked about was, hey, you can come to our parks, but man, I don't know about them other guys. Not true.
Well, I'd add a little bit to that, too. There's some, one particular cheap shot that I thought was kind of uncalled for that doesn't make me support the city was when we were talking about public health, and the mayor was out there saying that the county needs to pay more so that the city can reduce property taxes on the citizens. That's totally disingenuous because city taxpayers are county taxpayers.
Oh, absolutely.
And so there was some kind of a notion that if the people outside of city limits would simply pay more than the citizens inside the city limits. That's disingenuous as heck because we're all the same taxpayers when it comes to those budgets. So that offended me, and you want me to, play nice when that happens? See, I don't attend those meetings.
I didn't say that at all.
Yeah, well, you indicated that some of this had to do with me, and I simply don't have, I probably have better communication with the city than the entire board, because I sit on the City Planning and Zoning Commission, and I have those meetings every month. And we seem to get along just fine. As a matter of fact, I realized I was going through some paperwork that I've been on that City Planning and Zoning since January of 2008.
Might be time
So
for
I
new
think-
blood. That's what I'm thinking. We need
Yeah,
new
I
blood,
think that,
a
I
new
think you should
outlook.
probably be on that
Pardon me?
planning, and I think you should probably be on that planning and zoning board. However, we're digressing a little bit from
Yeah,
the actual.
we're getting off the
subject, so
beaten
you should
path
Call the
here.
question.
Call the question.
Well, are there for any further nominations? Any further nominations? Any further nominations? We will do a roll call. The first nominee is Commissioner Bittner. Commissioner Woodcox.
No,
Commissioner Munson.
Nope.
Commissioner Bittner.
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab.
Yes.
Commissioner Bakken.
Yes.
The next nominee is Commissioner Munson. We'll call that a roll as well. Commissioner Munson.
Yes.
Commissioner Bittner.
No.
Commissioner Bakken.
Oh.
Commissioner Schwab.
No.
Commissioner Woodcox.
forgot who we're voting. Yes. Yes means a no, and no means a yes on some of these.
All right, so Commissioner Bittner is elected chairman for 2026. Next up, we have entertain nominations for the 2026 vice chairmanship. Are there any nominations?
I would nominate Commissioner Munson for vice chair. Just for argument's sake.
Second. Second.
Are there any further nominations?
Yeah, I would nominate Commissioner Bakken for vice chair. I think he's been doing an excellent job.
I would second that.
Thank you.
Are there any further nominations? Are there any
I
further?
would nominate Commissioner Woodcox.
Second.
He's too grumpy.
Fine. Are you penalizing me? Is that what you're trying to do? No, I wouldn't mind. If I'm nominated or if I'm elected, I'll serve.
Yeah.
That's no problem at all. I just think we need a new outlook and a new move forward, so.
Okay, are there any further nominations? Any further nominations? Any further nominations? Hearing none, the first nominee is Commissioner Munson for as the 2026 Vice Chairman. We'll call the roll. Chairman Bittner.
No.
Commissioner Bakken.
No.
Commissioner Schwab.
No.
Commissioner Woodcox.
Yes.
Commissioner Munson.
Yes.
The next nominee is Commissioner Bakken, and we'll roll call that. Commissioner Bakken.
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab.
Yes.
Commissioner Woodcox.
Yes,
Commissioner Munson.
Yes.
Chairman Bittner.
Yes.
got you
The-
back.
The next nomination is Commissioner Woodcox. Roll call of Commissioner Schwab. The next nominee is Commissioner Woodcox.
Ah, he's too old, no.
Commissioner Woodcox.
No.
Commissioner Munson.
Yes.
Chairman Bittner.
No.
Commissioner Bakken.
Yes.
All right.
I knew that was coming. Enough of the humor, that's good. Okay, now that brings us to the subject of assignment of portfolios. How do you guys want to handle that? I'm not, Commissioner Munson?
I had requested earlier to be taken off of the public health, and after consideration, I will keep that portfolio.
I appreciate that. I really do. Okay.
I've spent 3 years on it, I might as well keep on going. I mean, I know
Okay.
it, I enjoy it.
Well, I think that's real important, because one of the questions I was going to have is what does Burleigh County gain by switching you off of that? And I think we have more to gain by you being there than by switching you, and I want you to know I appreciate your willingness to continue. Does anybody else have issues with their current portfolios? Personally, I don't have a real love for continuing on the planning and zoning, but I will, unless somebody else is interested in that.
And I've always enjoyed planning and zoning, and I was gonna ask if you wanted me to sit on the city side. I would certainly take on that role if you wish. You and I share it anyway, as far as the county side, but if you wanted to lessen your load a little bit, I would certainly take on that city.
You know, how about if we run this for another year, because right now, we're in the middle of swapping over the ETA.
Right.
And there's a lot of, not that I welcome the chance to get
Well,
off of it.
you're-
There's a
the
lot
one
of
that asked.
nuance to it.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's a lot of ordinance things that we're gonna be needing to deal with as far as trying to make sure that the ordinance that applied when the city had the ETA versus where we're at with the county, there's some things that we have to get right. And, you know, I wanna try to make sure that everybody is held harmless, you know, and everybody is good with that.
You had
and I
asked, that's
think-
why I offered.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and.
If you were coming off the planning and zoning completely, then
You know, maybe if we get everything kind of dialed in and, you know, get the ordinances straightened out and whatnot, because I am real familiar with the ordinances, wrote a lot of them. Then maybe we could look at switching
April,
sometime
May.
during the year or something.
Yep.
and
I'd be more than happy to
I
jump in
appreciate
there.
that. Okay, any other discussion regarding portfolios?
I did have one question, Commissioner Schwab.
Yes.
I was wondering if you would have an interest in giving up MPO.
Yes. All you do is go over there and vote yes. I'm the only guy that ever votes no.
I vote
I'm
no.
not effective over there.
That's something I enjoyed when I was mayor, and we actually have some moving pieces right now that I've got reinvigorated concerning some state as well as the rail that I would be interested in taking over the MPO. Now, that being said, I got a pretty full load. I was wondering if you would have any interest in CENTCOM or
What?
the CENTCOM, the 911 center.
Not really. You walked into this. you got-
Well, I know. I'm willing to take on
No,
more, but if you could take a little something off the plate, I would appreciate it.
Here's the reason why now we lost our county engineer. We have a lot of projects up there, and I don't micromanage, but I help in any way I can. Put a lot of miles.
I
on
understand,
my-
we have a lot of change in the
So
highway department.
I want to get this highway department up. Another year, we should be where we should be.
Okay,
And,
fair enough.
roads are so important to me that maybe I spend too much time and I know I do when I drive by and I see crew out there shaking their fists at me. So
At least it's only the fifth.
I'm doing my job,
Yeah.
and it does take a lot of time.
Fair enough.
Okay, so you want to move the Metropolitan Planning
Yeah, I'll take
Organization
MPO.
from Commissioner Schwab to your portfolio. Okay, we'll do that. You had expressed some interest in that Missouri Valley complex and your combination with the 4-H.
Well, yeah, that's another portfolio that I would be interested in. MPO,
You're off.
I am not a good fit for that, but there are so many things out there. I can go down a list of things that haven't been done yet. And I don't want to get into it now. If Commissioner Munson wants to get together with me, I've harped on a lot of this stuff for 3 years. Fully capable of doing it, but you got to do it. Like fix the roads, the pavements cracking, and that brings up another thing. Commissioner Munson, you said you were waiting for a bid from the Highway Department?
No, I have the bid. We're waiting for the sewer to go through and fix.
The thing is that legal? If we put something out for bid and we only take the Highway Department?
It was never officially bid. The highway department is simply fixing their own road, the county road.
Yeah.
And so when I had highway staff meet me at the facility, Marcus and Casey, so there was at least 3 highway department
Okay,
people
Dan
out
wants
there.
to put in
Yep.
some.
Good evening, Commissioners. I think it was last year sometime, Commissioner Munson reached out to us to put together a quote to repair some bad spots along that frontage road at the Missouri Valley Fairgrounds. We put together a rough ballpark estimate of what it would take for our crews to do that, perform that service. And so it wasn't really a bid, it was just more of a quote on what it would cost to repair.
Yep.
So.
Julie, what is the procedure for putting something out for bids, and if the county bids low because they have government funding?
Well, the county wouldn't bid on the county projects. If we're able to take care of that in-house, we wouldn't need to bid on that. So
So-
I'm confused as to your question.
So what you're saying then is if we get high bids and the county wants it, they can just be $1 cheaper than the next bidder? That doesn't sound right.
Well, if the county can do its own work,
Yeah.
then why would we bid it out for somebody else to come in and do it? The county wouldn't bid for a county project.
Well, yeah, but that's like that slide up at the river here, this last landslide. We contracted that out because we'd have had to take all the snow plows off. And if we got a blizzard, we would be in.
I understand
deep trouble.
that, but if you had set it out for a bid and then decided that you had the equipment to do it yourself and you were gonna do it yourself, you wouldn't have to go forward with that bid. Like, the county isn't part of the bid process. So if they're able to fix the road themselves and put together a quote as to how much it's gonna cost within their budget to do that, they can do that and you wouldn't have to put that out for a bid.
Right, I think in this case, it was not bid out,
Correct.
so they're not undercutting any private bids in this case that I'm aware of.
Right.
Which
It was,
case
it
it
was,
was-
it was an estimate for the Missouri Valley Complex to have that money in their budget so that we could reimburse the highway department for that work that was done.
We need to call estimates, and bids. Because it was not clear to me whether it was an estimate or, and
That's
that
a good
one,
point.
those words are two
Valid.
different things. Estimates I can understand.
Estimate of cost. Sure.
Okay.
But I'm not willing to give up that portfolio.
Well, I think you should work a little closer with Commissioner Schwab on some of the concerns out there. Okay. That would be helpful, I think, because there was that confusion. Okay. I think we pretty well beat up on that. Anything else with portfolios? Then we're going to move on. First thing is roll call of members. Should have probably done that first.
No, you're, number one, you're in the right order.
Yeah, okay.
Commissioner Bakken,
Here.
Commissioner Schwab,
Here.
Commissioner Woodcox,
Yeah, here.
Commissioner Munson,
Here,
Chairman Bittner.
Yes, here. Next thing is approval of the agenda. At the request of the County Highway Department, I want to add one item under, under the Highway Department.
6.
Yeah, under 6, County Highway Department, where we have a developer waiver request, I want to add LGO Trust Paving Waiver. LGO Trust Paving Waiver. That was part of the information that was submitted for the agenda packet, but it didn't make its way into the packet, so that it's not late breaking or anything. That should have been on the thing. Other than that, that's all I had to add. Anybody else have any changes or additions?
move to approve the adjusted agenda. Amended.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the amended agenda. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Schwab,
Yes.
Commissioner Woodcox.
Yes.
Commissioner Munson,
Yes.
Commissioner Bakken,
Yes.
Chairman Bittner.
Yes, motion carries. Next item is consideration of the December 15th, 2025 meeting minutes and bills. Commissioners, I have two things right off the bat to change. On the start time of the meeting, if you look at the page right ahead of the county commission meeting minutes was the park board meeting minutes. And we show an adjournment time of 5:18 on the Burleigh County Park Board. And we show a call to order at 5 p.m. on the Burleigh County Commission. I think it would probably be more accurate to make that 5:18 as a change. And then on the section where it talked about the Attorney General's opinion regarding the meeting violation, I presented information that I called in at 1:28, and the call lasted for 67 minutes. And that would give us an adjourned time of 14:35, because we took the 2 minutes from 1:28 to 1:30 off. That would have left 5 minutes, and so instead of 2:33, it's 2:35.
Mr. Chairman, I reviewed the bills. Taylor was not in today. He doesn't get back until tomorrow, but they looked in good order. So pending his review tomorrow as well, I would move to approve the bills and the minutes with the amended changes.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Woodcox,
Yes.
Commissioner Munson,
Yes.
Commissioner Bakken,
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab,
Yes.
Chairman Bittner.
Yes, motion carries. I did get an email from Taylor earlier. He said he had had a flight canceled the day ahead of time. Must have had something to do with the activities over the weekend, right? And so he was going to be flying in late and wasn't going to meet. So that's legitimate. Next item, consent agenda.
I would move to approve the consent agenda, but I want to pull D and E for discussion. It's actually in a little addendum to those two items. But other than that, I would move to approve the consent agenda minus D and E.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second to approve the consent agenda minus D and E. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Munson,
Yes.
Commissioner Bakken,
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab,
Yes.
Commissioner Woodcox.
Yes.
Chairman Bittner.
Yes, motion carries. Commissioner Bakken, go ahead with D.
So D is a resolution authorizing county treasurer to make payment upon demand for all invoices and claims for utility services, gas, fuel, and oil per bill payment policy. E is a resolution authorizing the county treasurer to make payments upon demand for all invoices for appointed county coroner. And the only reason I wanted to pull these out because I wanted to have a discussion about the auditor's role now that we're into tax season, and just because this kind of falls under the treasurer's, that's why I pulled those. So Auditor Splonskowski was kind enough to volunteer his services as we're collecting taxes, but we changed that job description, and I wanted to run it by the full commission, that we allow the auditor to help during tax season to receive payments and work up at the front counter as that position has done in the past. So it makes a lot of sense, and the auditor's kind enough to pitch in with his expertise where he can do some good for county residents, so.
Yeah, I don't have any problem.
I would agree. Yeah.
Okay,
We'll
so
give
I would
all
make that a
hands on
motion
deck.
to, with that, I would make a motion to add to the consent agenda that the auditor has the ability to help it pitch in when he's available and is needed, and I would move to approve D&E.
Second.
A motion and a second. I guess we understand what the motion was. Any further discussion?
The motion is to allow the auditor or approving
no.
both of these?
No,
Well,
it allows the auditor to
Help
do the
out,
front-
I
help out
realize
on the
that, but
front
which one
desk.
are you voting on? Both together or just?
Yeah, both together.
Okay.
Yeah, so the
The
auditor
only reason I
will
pulled
help
those two out as the discussion point for this is because everything falls into the treasurer now, so, and this was kind of a finance piece, so it just made a lot of sense to, instead of do something different, just attach it to this for discussion purposes.
Okay. Call the roll.
Commissioner Munson,
Yes.
Commissioner Bakken,
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab,
Yes.
Commissioner Woodcox.
Yes.
Chairman Bittner.
Yes, motion carries. Next, item 6, County Highway Department, authorization to advertise for bids, acceptance of platted right-of-way, and developer waiver requests.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner
I
Wilson.
should have asked before, but what is our IT contract? What is that 2026 IT contract? It's not in here. What,
It's in there.
is that with the city?
It's in the.
That's the city
yeah.
contract? Okay.
Yep.
Never mind. Thank you.
Page 19.
Right, and it was presented essentially with no changes from here. Go ahead.
Okay, good evening, Commissioners, Mr. Chairman, and Commissioners. 3 items on our agenda, for 4 items now that we made the adjustment. First item on the agenda for the Highway Department is the authorization to advertise for bids for our yearly painted pavement markings, crushing of gravel, township gravel hauling, dust control, and chip seal projects. Every year, the Burleigh County Highway Department puts out bids for for the previous items. We're asking for permission to allow the proper county officials to properly advertise those things. If you would like to further discuss any of those items, we can certainly pull them out and do them separately. But there is a proposed resolution for all of those items in your packet, and I would stand for any questions.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the proposed resolution. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Bakken,
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab,
Yes.
Commissioner Woodcox.
Yes.
Commissioner Munson.
Yes.
Chairman Bittner.
Yes, motion carries. Next.
All right, second item is accept plat of the right-of-way shown in the attached plat. Burleigh County is required to accept right-of-way on plats that are approved by the City of Bismarck, City of Lincoln, or Burleigh County. The Ridge Third subdivision has been approved by the City of Lincoln, and we are requesting that the county board accept the right-of-way that is shown in the attached plat. It's 80th Street from Lincoln Road that would go all the way up to 22nd Street. There's a proposed resolution in your packet, and we can try to answer any questions for you.
Move to approve.
Wait a minute. I have a question.
Go ahead. Well, let's get a motion in a second, then we can discuss it.
Second.
Motion in a second, go ahead.
Do these roads, are they matched up now?
Define matched up. Are they open?
No. Are they into county specs? You know, we don't want to.
Other than they haven't
One road
been,
coming in and 100 feet away, another from the other side.
yeah, Commissioner Schwab. Right now, they are built to a gravel section standard from Lincoln Road to the end, and it's currently open. Currently
Is your question
open.
about alignment? Is it about the alignment?
I'm talking alignment, Dan.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, you don't want a road coming in and then another one on the other side.
Yeah,
coming
they're all matched up right
in.
now.
They match up,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so I had a little question on the map, which would be on the side. It's too small for me to read, but where it turns into a single lane on the very low corner of the, you go from what looks like a 2-lane road when it hits the property line. and it turns into a one-lane road?
Yeah, so you're talking on the southern portion near 80th Street,
Yeah.
or near Lincoln Road, I
Lincoln
mean.
Road.
That's because we have platted right-of-way along the other side of that. So the right-of-way already exists,
Okay.
so this is just acceptance of the opposite side of that.
Okay, perfect. Good answer. Any other questions or comments? Call the roll.
Commissioner Schwab.
Yes.
Commissioner Woodcox.
Yes.
Commissioner Munson.
Yes.
Commissioner Bakken.
Yes.
Chairman Bittner.
Yes, motion carries. Go ahead.
The third item we have is the review and direct the county highway department on how to proceed with the developer's pavement waiver request. Under the current pavement policy, developers are required to pave all internal roadways and adjacent section lines and construction of and paving of at least one roadway that connects to the existing paved highway system. Patrick and Gail Legenfelder in the north half of Section 28 in Apple Creek Township are proposing a one-lot subdivision, Coomer Ranch subdivision, and are requesting a pavement waiver. Under the pavement policy, the platting of this property would require them to pave 0.8 miles of township subdivision roadway. There is a proposed resolution in your packet. If you choose to adopt it, that would grant the paving waiver.
So is this waiver in line with county's previous policies been?
Yeah,
with
this
waivers?
This is more often than not with these one-lot subdivisions. We have granted these in the past. This does not preclude them to participate in any sort of road construction or paving at a later date. This just allows them to waive the pavement requirement for this particular subdivision.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Schwab.
Yes.
Commissioner Woodcox.
Yes.
Commissioner Munson.
Yes.
Commissioner Bakken.
Yes.
Chairman Bittner.
Yes, motion carries.
Okay, so the last item on the agenda is the review and direct the highway department on how to proceed with the developer's request. Under the same pavement policy, the LGO Trust in the south half of Section 23 of Burnt Creek Township is proposing a two-lot subdivision and is requesting a waiver of the pavement policy. Under the pavement policy, this platting of this property would require them to construct and pave 0.33 miles of subdivision and township roadway. Waiving of the pavement policy allows the county board to approve the proposed plat without the developer reconstructing and paving the required roadways at this time. It does not preclude the county or township from requiring the property owner from sharing in the cost to construct and pave these roadways in the future. I know this was not in the packet, so.
Do you have a map of it?
Yep,
there?
I do.
How many miles did you say?
0.33.
Point three. If you could just put it up on the Alamo so the public can see, just so everybody has a reference for where the project is. Please.
So this particular parcel is along 26th Street, and I'm just trying to, here's a better map. So that blue outline is the outline of the particular parcel, and the map I showed prior to that is the piece that they would be required to build and pave
What's the
out.
parcel size on that then?
Shows 57 acres, 57.35 acres.
Okay. Commissioners?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the LGO Trust paving waiver. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Woodcox.
Yes.
Commissioner Munson.
Yes.
Commissioner Bakken.
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab.
Yes.
Chairman Bittner.
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Dick. County Planning Director Flanagan, got Spring Coulee subdivision, Hughes final subdivision, and attorney retainer agreement. Welcome, Mitch.
Good evening, Commissioners, Mr. Chair. I have 3 items to present tonight. First up is the Spring Coulee subdivision replat. Larry LeBerry applied for a building permit earlier this year to construct a 2,600 square foot accessory building to be used for storage, workspace, et cetera. the parcel described as Lot 2, Block 1, Spring Coulee, is the location of where he intends to build this accessory building. However, there's no principal structure or primary residential structure on this lot, which is a requirement of Burleigh County ordinances. He was advised to combine both lots to create that one single lot subdivision in order to build. This is a replat of the Spring Coulee original subdivision. Stormwater management waiver was not required. Paving waiver was not required. And at the December public hearing, it was recommended to approve the final plat by 8-0. I stand for any questions.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay. Was there some conversation about the impact of approving this on the, what would be the westernmost lots on the,
That's the next item.
that's the next one?
Yeah.
That's the next item.
Oh, okay, all right. Motion and a second, any further discussion?
Did they combine the lots? Did they combine the lots?
That's what this is on, you see on your lot exhibit, you see the little triangle underneath your hand there? That was the previous lot, the Spring Coulee original plat, and he combined the north lot to it
Okay.
to create one.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Munson,
Yes.
Commissioner Bakken,
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab,
Yes.
Commissioner Woodcox.
Yes.
Chairman Bittner.
Yes, motion carries.
Next up, Commissioners, is the Hughes final subdivision. It's a property located at 11,009 Lakeview Drive. It's in Apple Creek Township. The lot size is proposed lot size is 13.10 acres. For this lot, paving waiver was not required because the access to Lakeview Drive is already there. Stormwater management waiver was approved. Apple Creek Township has recommended approval of this plat. There were 6 revisions of the plat that were made to reach the requirements of Article 33. At the November meeting, additional information was requested regarding a master plan for the area near Country View Estates because there's some objection to the plat, and also a legal opinion of whether that lot can be removed from the existing subdivision regarding Century Code Title 40. At the December public hearing, it was recommended to vote for 8-0. Basically, this is vacating just one single lot out of that Country View Estates. I'll get that up on the Elmo here in a minute. The lot as Country View is this right here on that red line, which is the Country View Estates subdivision plot line. He intends to combine these to build a rather large horse arena. And he needs to do that square footage to reach what he wants to do for that, so. The question is whether we can vacate that subdivision lot and create a new one. Referring to Century Code Title 40-50, basically, it reads that, according to this, it reads that you can vacate that if it's privately owned. Any part of the lot, any part of the subdivision, a single lot, or the entire subdivision can be vacated. We do this all the time. We create new subdivisions out of existing subdivisions as additions, as second plats, that sort of thing.
Commissioner Bakken?
How do existing covenants play into that? Do they carry over to, or how does that work, Mitch?
If they're in effect, they would have to include that in the approval of the plat and record them as a separate item. We do not enforce covenants.
Correct.
They are not an ordinance, they are a private agreement from all the owners of that property to follow those covenants. The owner did ask each one of the residents of Country View Estates if they were opposed to him having horses out there. And according to the owner, that they had no problem with it, of combining the lots. They had no problem with the horses either. So the question is whether we can vacate that single lot out of the subdivision and create a new subdivision. We do it all the time.
But
Chair, I know.
I'm not comfortable with how that addresses this question.
Well, and I know there's representation from the developer, and if there's any other residents out there that are here, I would like to hear from them.
Okay, come on up and give your name for the record, please.
Afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Dan Anderson. I'm an attorney. I represent Mariners, the developer, on this issue. The biggest thing is, can you vacate it? Sure, but there's so much legalese in this right now with, there's currently covenants on that 1.5 acre lot. Would the subdivision, the new one, record those covenants against the next 10 acres? Or are they going to vacate? They can't vacate the covenants because they run with the land. And so I think in my opinion, there's so much legalese in this that as commissioners, I would highly recommend a state's attorney get involved in the opinion on, can you do this? Because in my opinion, you cannot. And so I could argue with the state's attorney on that. It's not our argument. Also, I haven't seen any plans for the subdivision and also consent from the property owners. They say they have consent, but we haven't received any paperwork, signatures, notarizations, anything. And so I recommend that this is tabled at least until we have a state's attorney involved to figure it out, because this is a major legal issue, to say the least.
Yeah, I can agree that it is. Julie?
I'm assuming
Provide
you
me
have to
the
review
information, yes, provide me all the information, and I'll review it and give you an opinion.
Okay, and we'll table it to
The next meeting.
next meeting? and give you
If
enough
I get the
time?
information, I can get it done within a couple days.
It was my understanding too that the developer's not necessarily opposed to this project, but it's just a question of making sure the legalese is done, correct?
I can't answer that for
Okay.
you right now.
Well, fair enough.
There's another legal
A lot of balls up in the air legally right now, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And that's why it should be tabled, in my opinion, is just to make sure we're doing everything correctly.
Does anybody else wish to speak on this item? Thank you, Dan.
Hello, Commissioner and Chairman. My name is Amber Hughes, for the record, and I am the landowner. You can't hear me?
No, speak up.
You're good.
Oh,
Yep, you're good.
Just speak a little louder.
so
What was your last name again?
Hughes.
Hughes?
So I'm just a little uncertain. If you guys could explain to me what are the legalities that we're worried about here? If it's not against Century Code of pulling our 1 acre out? I'm not understanding. They say they're not opposed to it, but yet they're bringing an attorney and already had conversations with you guys. So what's the issue?
Well, from my perspective, the issue is kind of simple. It involves covenants on a lot that's already in an existing subdivision.
Okay, so
So-
Lot 2 in that already is against the covenants. It has a barn with no house on it.
It's illegal.
Well, we're not going to get involved in that because
But-
we
but
don't
I'm
enforce
saying-
covenants. But the thing of it is, we don't have the ability to remove covenants either.
Nobody's asking. We're asking. we're not asking to violate any covenants. We're asking to rezone it so we can build. We have no plans of putting any farm stuff, any animals on that first acre. We will still honor the covenants. If you look back at the image, my riding arena doesn't even go over. My outdoor arena does not even cross over the first acre. So we're not doing anything to it. So I don't understand what the issue is. I truly don't.
Mr. Chair, if I can.
Commissioner Munson, go
Ma'am, I think where we're at as a commission is cautious. We would like to have the state's attorney look through everything and make sure all of the ducks are in the row before we make a decision. We're not attorneys. We need to have legal guidance, and so we're not saying no, we're not saying yes. We're saying, please give us 2 weeks.
And that's fine.
Yep.
I just don't really understand what the issue is at all, if they're not opposed to it.
There might not be any issues.
Okay.
Just checking.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And along with this, it was not notarized, but we did have signatures from our neighbors. And it was on that document with the letter that was sent to all the landowners or all the residents of the neighborhood.
Is that something you can get to Mitch
That,
so that we
that's
could have it?
something that they already have.
Yeah, we saw that at planning and zoning, didn't we not?
Yes.
Mitch? Yep.
Yes. And we already did all of that.
Okay, I think what I would prefer doing is taking the route of caution to make sure
Okay.
that the state's attorney weighs in on any kind of questions that.
I just want to make sure, we didn't miss anything on what we need to present, since it keeps coming up
You're not-
as an issue.
It's good to do it because.
And
it's
I'm
good for
fine
you
with,
too.
yeah, and I'm fine with
We're not
that.
picking on you, but get the ducks in order.
Okay,
So, go ahead and build if you're gonna build.
Yeah, I was going to say, I imagine that the state's attorney would be willing to take input from you as well, or hearing from an attorney on that. And I guess do you have
Yeah.
an attorney, or you want to just represent yourself? Or?
no, I don't have an attorney. I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
that's
I'm
fine.
just curious. I know it was going to go to the state attorneys in the one meeting, but they didn't hear back from them. So I'm just wondering what the issue is.
Okay. Well, the issue really is simply what happens with those covenants and whatnot if we were to essentially change the zoning of that particular spot.
Okay.
So,
We just wanna make-
obviously, people around there buy into those properties based on what the covenants say. And we're not able to remove them. That's a whole different category that's in the civil law.
Okay.
And that's why we want lawyers to look at it
Perfect.
simply. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Mr. Chair, I would move to table this agenda item until the next meeting. Hopefully, we'll have state's attorney, lawyer's opinion by then.
I'll second that, but was there any neighbors or anybody else that wished to speak?
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Anybody else wish to speak on this item?
Okay, second then.
Okay, any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Schwab.
Yes.
Commissioner Woodcock.
Yes.
Commissioner Munson.
Yes.
Commissioner Bakken.
Yes.
Chairman Bittner.
Yes, motion carries.
Mr. Chair, the third item is attorney retainer agreement. Consider approving a service contract to provide legal assistance and interpretation of legal issues regarding Burleigh County. In your packet are two proposals, one from Brian Schmidt and another one from Lawrence King. Their fees are fairly similar. They differ a little bit on their full partners, associates, and paralegal. It would be my action request is to approve a retainer agreement for legal services. I would request that you approve both of their proposals. They're very similar, and it's not a contract. Doesn't cost anything to retain them.
Move to approve,
Second.
both of them.
You do realize there's a difference in price between the two? If you look at one, there's a difference in hourly price.
Yes, Commissioner Chair Brittner, the full partners, Lawrence is $300, Brian Schmidt is $250. The associates attorneys are $250 for Lawrence King, and Brian Schmidt is $225. And the paralegal for Lawrence King is $150, for Brian Schmidt it's $175. So it depends on how many paralegals you use, I suppose, would make the difference.
I think the bigger question is, if one's tied up and we have to go the other route, we need a secondary system. But I would hope that we would lean towards the better fiduciary route whenever possible.
Absolutely.
State's attorney weigh in on this?
I know we had talked about this before. Due to staffing in my office, I can't get to everything all the time. The only issue that I would have is to make sure that they're appointed as special assistant state's attorneys to do county work.
So you would
Noted.
you'd be overseeing them then under that?
Not necessarily overseeing them, but involved in what's going on, so I'm in the loop with things.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, Commissioner Schwab?
I forgot the name of the firm that is taking care of the Provident Life. Who is that? That is,
We don't have an attorney on the Provident.
well, the one that, on the, excuse
There's
me,
a
the
jail.
detention center.
That would be.
Lawrence King.
Lawrence
King Law.
King.
King.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of confidence in him. Actually, I don't have any.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead, Mitch.
I've reached out to several attorneys, and they don't reply. These are the only two that responded. I've reached out to 4 different legal firms.
Okay, well, we have discussed this sort of thing a lot over the years, and I think we simply do need additional attorney services to take a little load off of the state's attorney's office. As long as the motion matches what she said about the special assistant state's attorney.
I would have.
Special assistant state's attorney, and they both know that. We've worked with both of them in the past, and they know that they need an appointment.
I would amend my motion to add the language that the state's attorney has used.
Okay.
Second.
Motion, the second is changed. Okay. Any further discussion? Call roll.
Commissioner Woodcox.
Yes.
Commissioner Munson.
Yes.
Commissioner Bakken.
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab.
Yes.
Chairman Bittner.
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Commissioner.
Mitch. No, I think that's not necessarily, state's attorney, lawyer, that's not necessarily just isolated to like a planning and zoning issue. That can cover other needs. You know, we've had some questions, I think, through HR and through.
Yes, and in looking over the agreement that they've included, it's for civil matters. It's not limited to just planning and zoning, it's any civil matter.
Okay. But the notion is that you'll be involved, you'll be in the loop anyway, right?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Human Resource Director Binder, Burleigh County job openings and data insight for 2025. Welcome, Pam.
Thank you, Chairman Bittner, Commissioners. I kind of did a rundown of the positions that we currently have open and recruiting, or we're getting ready to recruit for. You'll see the first one on the list is the Finance Director. That one did close. We had no qualified candidates. We had people that had some experience, but no CPA. So we're looking at next steps there.
Okay, let's
Okay.
talk about those next steps. Pam made a suggestion. We had a conversation regarding this, and I would concur with her suggestion that we should put out a request for proposals for a qualified local firm to provide the
Accounting services.
CPA, accounting firm for CPA services for like the year-end financial stuff, you know.
Short term.
Yeah. Because we simply don't have a CPA in-house today, and I think I totally think we need to have a CPA or a firm with a CPA going through our books. I think our staff is doing a fine job at this point, but we're lacking the CPA and for meeting all the generally accepted accounting practices and all that. Is that consistent with what you were thinking, Pam?
Mr. Chairman, will that be just a temporary arrangement?
At this point, yes.
Okay.
I don't know that we would.
What do
need
we do,
anything.
what do we do with, like our investment committee? We'd have to have a representative of their firm to be in our investment committee?
I would say so.
And you would think you'd want some consistency there with same person.
I think that would be a good idea.
Well, I won't require that we'd have
No,
a CPA that's on our investment committee, I would think.
sure.
Are we meeting, our investment committee meeting regularly? Are they required to meet quarterly or monthly or?
I think that's
Supposed to have them, I
think
know
that's a
that.
quarterly meeting. I'm drawing a blank on when our last meeting was. I know it was this year for sure.
Not this
Last year.
Last year.
Last year. Doggone it, and I'm still right in 25, right?
Yep.
I'm just concerned that our investments are being done properly. That's the problem we had before with our investments are done properly and on time and getting the best interest rate and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Are we getting that done?
Yeah, that
With the-
part has been done, and that's brought up to speed. And when Taylor gets back, I think I'll broach that discussion with him, because he would be the next guy. Lee was, the finance director was obviously the person that was calling those meetings. But I'll check with him and see the status on that. But I think that it would behoove us to do a motion, pass a motion to proceed with a request for proposals to retain an
CPA
accounting
firm.
Yeah, I would make a motion to put out an RFP for retaining a CPA firm.
On a temporary, or is there a time frame you would like to put on it?
I would say for this year. I don't want to put, it might wind up being the route we want to go. So I would say do it for a year, and then we can revisit it next year.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Woodchuck.
can I ask what's our difficulty? Is it the CPA? Is it the range, salary range that we're offering, or what is the
It's the
problem?
CPA, getting the certification.
Okay, but what if, should we be raising our salary rate so we would entertain a CPA? Would that do it? I mean, I'm saying, is that a
It
solution?
may or may not. It just depends on how many CPAs are out there. Usually, they're pretty busy this time of year.
Right.
And they're not looking for another job because they're booked with taxes and year end.
That would be my concern with a firm doing it as well.
Certainly. I think we can continue, there's no doubt we could continue, reopen applications and whatnot. I reviewed the applicants that applied, and, there was no actual CPAs. So, we've had that in the past where we had a couple of times where we did the underfill, and that simply didn't work out for us. So I can't recommend we go that route again. Did we have a second? I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second for request for proposals for CPA firm,
May I
accounting
ask,
firm, CPA firm. Right?
Mr. Chair, what are our, okay,
For a
so
year.
for a year, we're going to hire a CPA firm to do what? Are we going to ask them to do the finance director duties?
the majority of the finance director duties, we are going to ask them to do more of the CPA stuff, the auditing,
Okay,
that kind of thing, because Taylor can do the other stuff
Okay.
as the deputy finance director. And then just, it's the CPA stuff, the auditing and the kind of reviewing and acting as the comptroller. We need a CPA in that job.
and that would be then the finance portfolio holder that would be directing that person to go through that work.
Yeah.
Well, I just,
Yeah,
because who on staff is going to do that?
Right.
right. No, I think that's a pretty high level.
Well, that'll bring us to the next discussion about finance director position
Right.
too, and so,
Yep.
but let's get
Yeah.
through this first. And
Okay.
Okay, call the roll.
Commissioner Munson.
Yes.
Commissioner Bakken.
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab.
Yes.
Commissioner Woodcox.
No.
Chairman Bittner.
Yes, motion carries.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I want my concern of voting no. I don't want us to kick this can down the road and say, oh, we got a year now with the firm in there doing their job. We need a finance director that's qualified, that's got a CPA long-term. I'm not worried about the next month or something like that, but I don't want to see the can kicked down the road for another year and wait until we try and get somebody.
I think the intent is to kind of do the reset like we did with Marvin Heinert when we brought his CPA firm in, to kind of do the review, kind of see where we're lacking, what we need, and to help us get back on our feet and to help train someone. Because we may be able to grow our own CPA.
Right.
But that's not going to happen overnight.
Commissioner Bakken.
Well, and I think that brings us back to the discussion that we've had last year about hiring an interim finance director and somebody on the county side to go through that internal audit and take a look at what that position was. And I thought we had that solution in place, but I think we need to go back down that road, removing the CPA component of that, at least for this year, because we're going to have that firm. So,
That's if we get somebody to apply for that.
yeah. So, I would say that we should open up the finance director position again, minus the CPA requirement, if we're going to have a CPA firm that'll be able to manage those duties. But again, going back to our last discussion on this, I think it's important to have outside eyes come in and take a look and evaluate where we're at and kind of put a plan in place of the direction we need to be going moving forward. Lee took us so far. Lee did a great job. But what's the next vision of getting us to where we need to be for the financial solubility of the county long term? And I think some outside eyes and a finance director, the one we identified, would do a great job in that. So I think we need to go down that road.
I thought we were already moving
Yeah.
forward with that.
I mean, I look at budget coming up in 6 months.
Yeah.
And
We need
whoever's
that.
walking in only has 6 months to be ready
Yeah.
for that process. And that's a lot to take in to get ready for budget.
So what are you guys requesting? Because what you gave me approval for is a temporary employee. Temporary employees can't work longer than 6 months out of a year.
Okay, well,
Or we have to convert it to a full-time, and we don't have a budget for a full-time if we're going to use some of that money budgeted for the finance director for a CPA firm.
Well, you're just all kinds of fun.
Yeah, well, she's
We do
dotting
have
the
a
i's.
deputy finance director as well at this point who's acting as the interim treasurer. And he's the internal candidate for the treasurer, but we do have 3 other very good candidates as well. So there is a chance that we will have a deputy finance director and a treasurer being 2 different people.
she's more fun when she gets a window back.
Spent too much time in the old jail.
Okay, so what do you think would be the better path then, Pam? Instead of the temporary
Did we vote on
position?
Have we still got a motion on the table? Or did
For
we pass
hiring
it?
a
We
CPA
passed it,
firm?
didn't we? I'm
No,
sorry.
yeah,
That's done.
And yeah.
I would recommend that we wait until we fill the treasurer position to see where we're at. Because we're in the interview process for that one. We're getting ready to schedule interviews, get the panel together. And so we should know what's going on with that. And then we can figure out what positions we have open.
What's the timeline on that?
Excuse me?
What's the timeline on that?
That depends on you and Brian Bittner, who are on that panel. So whenever you guys can get together and we can get 2 other members and we can do the interviews.
Okay.
Okay, that just closed?
It closed right before Christmas, or right before New Year's.
Right before New Year's, okay. Well, I think we can start the interviews this week.
We can schedule them for this week, or we can schedule
Just
this week.
go
We
ahead
won't
and
be
start
doing
the
them this
process,
week,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah.
So the question is, do we bring somebody on in the meantime?
I'm still in favor of bringing on a finance director for, especially the individual we discussed, just to, there's a lot of institutional knowledge that comes from outside, and I like outside eyes. I really do. So you need to take a look at everything now and then. What that looks like as a part-timer, I don't know.
I think
that's
it's
the part.
part-time temporary is the best I can come up with at this
Yeah.
point, because we are talking about the treasurer thing. So I
Yeah.
think moving
Well,
forward with a
but the
part-time temporary.
Where I get hung up on it is the 6 months. So, because I think that, because getting through budget, that person needs to help get through budget and be
Yeah.
there for that. That's going to be beyond 6 months. So, is it?
That's the Affordable Care Act and our
Yeah.
NDPERS regulations, our North Dakota Century Code.
Okay, so what
That
would we
tells
have
us
to
that.
call it to?
Do we change the
Is this
pay scale and call it a
part-time?
full-time, or what do we do?
Right.
Okay, so which position are we going to convert? The actual finance director position?
Yeah.
Convert that to an interim, a full-time? And then amend the budget for consulting fees for the CPA firm?
So,
Well, do we?
but he wouldn't be full-time.
Yeah,
He
but
would
do
be
we pull?
part-time.
Okay,
You
so the
do-
question is, we can call it full-time, but do we lower the pay scale commensurate to not having the CPA attached to it? And it does function as a 30-hour-a-week position. What is 32?
32.
32-hour-a-week position.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Munson?
My concern there is, okay, so we bring this individual on as a full-time employee. With that person knowing that as soon as we get treasurer taken care of and deputy finance, those other positions done, we're gonna go back out and advertise for a finance director, I would assume, with a CPA, because that's really what we want in the end.
Yeah, but that's going to be at least a year out.
I get that, but are we better off than hiring them as a consultant? With, that way they understand they're not a full-time employee. They understand we are going to find another person for this position. When you hire a full-time employee, it's pretty tough to look at the full-time employee and say, 16 months from now, you're out.
Well, the other part of that is, as well, what if the best road, because this is part of the reason why I would like somebody to come in and give their opinion, some outside eyes, is what if the most cost-effective way is to remain with an outside CPA firm? We don't know that right now.
We don't know that until we
don't know
try
that
it,
right now.
right?
So if that's the most cost-effective for the county, then what if we stay on that road? Well, that changes what the finance director position does, and it comes back to more of the leadership role, and I don't want to use consultant because, but basically it's that the director or the direction that it's providing for the services we provide to county residents. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it.
Yep.
So maybe we are better off doing that 32-hour position, pay commensurate to that, and it is an FTE. But at a reduced salary to reflect this lack of CPA and the 32-hour work week. That's where I'm kind of, it's just, I can see it both ways, but what if we stay with the outside firm? We're missing out on a good candidate because of a nuance that might possibly happen.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Woodcock.
we've had 4 finance directors in the last 4 years. I mean, what are we doing wrong? I mean, we got to be doing something wrong. The salary's not adequate or something. I don't know what it is, benefits, salaries, but we need a CPA in there. We don't need it to be a Band-Aid approach. We can't keep doing that. We just can't.
Well, yeah,
So-
but that's what the outside firm does because, frankly, you can't afford a finance director with a CPA. It
I mean,
is extremely cost prohibitive. Whereas if we have an outside firm on a per diem basis, that might be more cost effective.
I would
We'll find out over the next year.
highly doubt you'd hire an outside CPA firm to fill in for a CPA that we could hire for the adequate salary that you're going to draw a good candidate, because it's got to be that's holding us back. And I long term, I just can't see us putting a Band-Aid to it.
We haven't, so
Right.
You haven't what?
so haven't been able to hire that CPA.
Well, let's look at the qualification then. That's why I say, what are
Right.
we doing wrong? What do we need to do? We got to look at, what are we doing? If
'Cause
we're only
doing the
paying-
same thing over and over
If
again
we're only paying
doesn't make sense.
150 and we need 250, we need to go to the 250. We got to hire somebody that's going to be doing the job that we're going to have long-term, more than 6 months or more than a daily hour-to-hour or a meeting-to-meeting. That's not going to work. It's just not going to work for us.
Mr. Chair, if I could.
Commissioner Munson.
So we've approved the hiring of an outside CPA, an accounting firm
RFP
to.
for it, yeah.
We put out the RFP. If we did a interim without the CPA requirements, with the understanding that it is a 6-month position, we then have the next 4 to 5 months to make sure the outside firm is doing what they're doing, what the finance director is doing that is required, and then we can evaluate where we're at. And
I think it's going to be harder to bring somebody in going, hey, you get a 6-month gig.
well, that's my fear.
That's going to be almost
Exactly.
impossible.
Yeah.
And I think we should look at our
Would you take that?
qualifications,
No.
not just that you're CPA, but how about the pay scale? How about the pay scale? I mean, we may have our head in the sand saying we can hire somebody for what we're asking now. It'll never happen.
See, I don't think we
But
can.
we may need to bump that up by, I hate to throw out figures, but.
Well, that's why we lost our last finance director.
Pardon me?
That's why we lost our last finance director.
Yeah,
And
you're offering-
we've had
much-
4 in the last 4 years, so they're getting hired away. For the one we had, who was doing an excellent job, got hired away because of salary. So let's look at those qualifications. Let's say, okay, here they are. What are we going to do? What can we do? Look at what other CPA firms are hiring CPAs. They got to be doing something. They've got to be providing the right salary is what I think it all gets down to.
Yeah, and you're not, just to be clear, you're not saying qualifications, you're saying salary.
Well, I consider that a qualification. No, it's not a qualification. What do I want to call it?
It's
Salary.
It's
perk,
job.
it's salary,
It's a
it's
benefit. It's a job benefit,
total
whatever
rewards.
that might be.
And we can do a study, we can look,
We've got to do
see
something.
where the
We can't-
ballpark is.
Pam, if we did a part-time position and we're constrained by 6 months on that, what happens after 6 months? Do we have the option of moving them to
Another 6 months.
another?
No.
So
Full-time.
we'd have to make them full-time
Make them
or
full-time or cut them
call
loose.
them something else.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, it'd still be an option, though.
Yeah.
But if we go over and you decide you're not going to make them full-time, then we get into trouble with the benefits, the Affordable Care Act, because then we have to go back and offer them coverage, but we didn't offer them coverage. It just gets to be a mess.
Damn ACA.
Commissioner Schwab.
Getting kind of confused with all these ideas, but I'll give you an idea. When we hired Darren Johnson. He had no sprayer license. He was actually a shot in the dark. But when he came in and said, I'm going to do the ed, I'm going to do this and that. So these people have to start somewhere. And if you're going to have hire a part-time guy and you've got an outfit that's kind of going, he can learn and move up like Darren did. It's a learning experience.
Well, there's a
You know,
timeline associated with that, though, too,
you don't have to
because,
start. What I'm saying is, you don't have to start out.
well, and Taylor's working on his CPA,
Yeah.
but that takes time.
Yeah,
Takes a lot of time. So we're kind of looking at what to do in the interim. And I look at this as an opportunity we had an individual identified that could be of great benefit for the county, and I think we should go down that road. I'm whatever it looks like, we should get down that road so that we can start building the bigger picture for where we need to be. I always have a concern. It's like, stop thinking where we are, where do we need to be, and where do we need to be in 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And that goes back to the 4 finance directors over a very short period of time, because it was where we were, not where we needed to be. And I think that's why we need to go down the road with that individual that we were talking about. So, yeah, I'm comfortable with the 32 hours and an FTE on a year-long contract, and where that goes from there, I don't care. Otherwise, maybe it is the 6 months, and then we look at continuing that as an FTE. But at some point, we're going to have to call it an FTE, and we can make the pay commensurate to a 32-hour week, which I think that individual would be amenable to, but not CPA pay and not 40-hour week pay, but that's what that would look like.
But we
I
can't
think
put a time limit on a full-time position. If you want to put a year time limit, then it's a contract position, which is not an employee.
Well, maybe that's the route then. I'm just spitballing, but we need to move in a different direction than what we've been doing.
Well, that's kind of why I mentioned the consultant, if you will, rather than employee. Rather than a part-time or full-time, hire him as a consultant at whatever we decide. Then we're not dealing with all of the other issues that Pam has to work through.
It would be the simpler approach.
Well, Chair, you've had conversations with that individual, or is that a?
Yeah, I think he would. I think
Okay.
he would go with the consultant thing as well. To utilize them for the time we need them.
Okay.
Well, we're dealing with millions and millions of dollars, and we know what we've just come through in the last 2 or 3 years with misinvestments. Just one little thing that we did wrong or we did late. If we hired a CPA now with double the salary that we're offering, we're going to save that by doing the right thing at the right time. Whereas making a mistake and not doing the right thing and delaying something or not doing it right or let something sit. We've all gone through that. We've listened to that for 3 years now, so I'm just tired of it. I think we got to make a permanent solution. If we have to look at our qualifications, I said qualifications again. Look at our salary range. If we know that a CPA is being hired by a private firm for $300,000 a year, we can't be getting anything for $150,000. We just aren't going to do it.
Well,
So-
if we go down the consultant route, we've already approved the RFP for a CPA firm for a year contract. So if we do the same with the consultant for a year contract and see where that goes from there, that'll give us a year to figure out if that's the best, most fiscally responsible route that we're doing. Plus, the individual we've been discussing is an investment professional. I mean, that's what they've done their entire career, and they've worked with municipalities in that space, and most notably counties. So that's from my perspective, that's a win-win-win-win-win for the Burleigh County, right off the top.
And I think-
Everything else can trickle in, but that's a win.
And we've been without Lee for a month. We're going to have the RFP for the CPA firm is gonna take a month or two. The sooner we get a consultant in to take care of our needs, the better.
We need to get in ahead of, and
We need
I
it
think,
now.
I think
Yep.
budget process needs to
It's
start
coming up,
February, early March.
Yep.
Not waiting till June.
Right.
So that individual being in, so I'm fine with the consultant side of it if that's the direction we want to go. Pam, does that work for you if we,
It would be the simplest, but
okay.
that would be Julie's area in the consulting with the contract.
Okay.
State's attorney lawyer.
We're asking her to do a lot this week.
Mr. Chairman,
She's thinking.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Wood.
not to change the subject entirely, but we need to look at our salary structure. Our state's attorney sits over here trying to hire attorneys, and we're lowballing the salary range there, and we get them for a year or two, and they quit and go some other place for more money. So we're a training ground. We need to look at that department. The highway department, we've had the same thing with highway department people. If we're low all the way around, if we're out of the ballpark, that's what we're going to get. We're going to get out of the ballpark people. Or no applicants, what we're getting right here, no applicants. It's crazy.
And
We've got to seriously look at what we're doing.
And keep in mind, we do not have a merit pay system. We have a pay scale, pay step system, similar to a union pay scale, pay step. So it doesn't matter how good you are, it's how long you've been here in that
Exactly.
position.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to look at that too.
We've got our work to be laid out.
Mr. Chair, do you need a motion to hire or do we
Yeah.
need the state's attorney's lawyer to put together a contract first before we approve?
I think we could approve it subject to a contract from the state's attorney.
I would move to approve the hiring of a contract employee to fill in our finance director position without the CPA requirement.
Pam, does that work?
How's that going to work with our consulting firm?
It's gonna be, we're gonna
Work
we're gonna
well.
They'd
make-
have to
we're gonna
dovetail
work
into each
together.
other. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
So, second.
Julie, any concerns with that?
Not at this time.
All right, call the roll.
That was a horrible answer.
Commissioner Bakken.
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab.
Yes.
Commissioner Woodcox.
Yes.
Commissioner Munson.
yes.
Chairman Bittner.
Yes, motion carries. Go ahead.
Okay. I did mention the treasurer position, that we're getting ready to interview for that one. Also, the county engineer, that closed today, and we have 2 applicants, so we'll get ready to interview for that one. Administrative assistant 2, front desk, this is a county recorder. That one is open, we're actively recruiting. Highway maintenance worker 1, there's possibly 2 positions that we're recruiting for, but we have received some good applicants for that. Building technicians 1 and 2, we're posting. We don't have anything yet for those. Deputy Veteran Service Officer, that is to replace Chris Berglund's position, as he's now the VSO. So we're waiting on approval to post that one.
Correct.
Legal Assistant 1, Legal Assistant 3, we're waiting on approval to post those. We have Assistant State's Attorney 1 and 2 ongoing, as Commissioner Woodcock said. Detention officers, we have 8 positions starting January 20th, and Deputy Sheriff is February 2nd. And I also received a voicemail from Commissioner Woodcox regarding the county administrator position.
Yes.
Where that is at is there has not been an approved job description. We kind of left off with the draft. So that has to come back to the commission to get approved before we can even start the recruitment process at that time.
I think we should get that on the next agenda.
Absolutely. ASAP.
Okay?
Put that on the agenda for the next county commission meeting.
Would you, Mr. Chairman?
We've all seen-
We had a draft, didn't we look at a draft?
Yeah,
And we just tabled it, correct?
correct.
Yeah, it never got followed up on. There was other things that took priority.
Okay.
So I will bring that to the next meeting.
Okay.
Well, and at the time with where we were in the Provident building and some other things, I wasn't in favor of a county administrator at that time, but moving forward into this next calendar year, we're gonna have to be there. I mean, we've got a lot of things working, and some of those issues you mentioned, Commissioner Woodcox, with some of the other departments and looking at that, that would be a big role for the county administrator. So we're actually in a position now where hiring that position, identifying that individual to help with a lot of those other issues are going to clean a lot of things up. And we're going to, like Commissioner Schwab said earlier, we're working on efficiencies right now and streamlining things, and adding that position is going to go a long way to do that, hiring the right person for that.
Okay, so she's going to put that on the agenda for the next meeting with the
And
draft job descriptions, right?
And then just
So
a quick.
We're looking for approval to post legal assistant 1 and legal assistant 2.
From the state's attorney.
Oh, okay.
Sent that email tonight.
Okay.
Only 2?
Those 2 positions, yes.
6 total.
Those are the attorney positions.
Yikes. Yeah, she's shorthanded, there's no doubt.
So just moving forward, doing some statistics for 2025. Our head count, we ended at 364 employees. Our average employees were 388.4. We hired 63 employees. We turned 62 employees over the year. Our turnover rate was 17%, and our average employee tenure is 7.5%. You can see the chart where you have each department with the number of employees and also the percentage of the whole. And this is coming from our Paylocity software. So starting in 2026, we will have these statistics on demand and more. We'll be able to track our overtime, our compensation pay. We're working on trying to upload the budget to actuals to get reports out of that. And we also have 2 charts that I included were employment type and pay type. So it'll tell us how many hourly, how many salary, how many elected. So we'll get data.
Sure.
Commissioner Bacher?
I know there were a couple rough spots with Paylocity and getting it integrated with across the departments. Is all that taken care of now? And
We're working on it. The time card is a work in progress.
that's still the one? Okay.
We have so many departments that do different things. So we're trying to cater to each department. So when we fix one, it breaks another. So we have to just keep
But we're getting
fixing
there.
them until we get them.
Okay. Timeline as far as, because I know that's extra stress on your department, and I know that's occupying quite a bit of your guys' time as well. So any,
Well, it's actually going pretty smooth on the timekeeping. The timekeeping part of it, the universal timekeeping system, the payroll is going smooth. We are getting ready to implement the benefits module, and we have the HRIS module. And maybe sometime this year we'll be able to learn how to use it, because we've been so busy implementing stuff, we haven't had time to train and really figure out the resources that we have.
okay. But everything else is working well. It's going to be a good addition to the county.
It should be a good addition
Okay.
to the county.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all the time you and your staff are putting in on that, because I know it's been a lot of extra work.
Commissioner
Thank
Woodcock?
You back up a little bit. You said our departments are not all doing the same thing. What do you mean by that?
Well, we have the detention and sheriff that are 24/7 operations. You have
Okay.
the Burleigh County Human Service Zone that operate quasi-state, so they have different timekeeping regulations. And our highway guys have overtime call-in, and so do our building and maintenance. So it's not just you're an hourly employee or you're a salaried employee. It's you're 24/7, you're on 24/7 on call, you're hourly 24/7. So we just have a lot of nuances.
Those will all fit into our new system eventually? Is that what you're?
They are fitting in.
Okay,
We're we're finding that if we fix something, we'll break another, but we're getting to the end of fixing. So hopefully the last fix will fix everybody else.
Eventually, when you've got everything broken, you've fixed everything then.
Yeah, hopefully.
Good work.
Yes, very good work.
All right. Anything else we need to address?
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Pam. Auditor Sponskowski, City County Building Leases and Auxiliary Board Applications.
Chairman and Commissioners, I just wanted to bring up one point real quick with the approval of the minutes. I reviewed the minutes, and there may have been a mistake made. Chairman Bittner, the park board meeting is from December 1st, and the commission meeting is from December 15th.
Oh, is that right?
Yep, so they're completely different
Oh.
times, and we did review the minutes from December 1st for the county commission,
Yeah.
and it does say a start time of 5:18. So, but in reference to your phone call time, that correction, that would be fine. But if I could get a motion to approve the start time on the
Yeah,
county
sure.
commission minute.
Move to
meeting
approve.
minutes.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Bakken?
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab?
Yes?
Commissioner Woodcox?
Yes.
Commissioner Munson?
Yes.
Chairman Bittner?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you very much for that. And then, the first one here is the city-county building leases. That is in reference to the city-county building here that we lease from the city, and then the courthouse portion that the city leases from us. It's basically exactly the same as it was prior, the same rates, nothing has been changed, or anything like that.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second to approve. Any further discussion? Well, the only thing I would add is I just don't think either one should be paying rent to the other one. Just call the roll.
Agreed.
Commissioner Schwab?
Yes?
Commissioner Woodcox?
Yes.
Commissioner Munson?
Yes.
Commissioner Bakken?
Yes.
Chairman Bittner?
Yes, motion carries.
All right, thank you. And then the auxiliary board applications, I did reach out to the individual who put on there any other board, and he said he would be willing to be on the special assessments board. I also received an application from Mr. Jensen for that board as well. I also did receive the application that we spoke of last week from Mr. Mager for the water management, the Burleigh County Water Resource District Board. So I have a Brian Mager who has applied for that, as well as a Garrett Bryan. And so those are for the water district. And then I have a Jeff Newberger and a Travis Jensen for the special assessment board.
What does that leave for vacancies?
That pretty much fills up everything except for the school redistricting board.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Woodcock.
on the school, I visited with our superintendent of schools today, and Mary McDonald is she's already on the board, and she wants to be re-upped again, and then he's still looking for a second application, so I have to just postpone that until he gets, he's recruiting somebody, so.
Okay, I'll put that on the agenda once I receive those applications.
It's on their redistricting when they want to go into the Bismarck School District. That's the committee that is, and they only meet once or twice a year, so there's no immediate time frame to jump right in there. And the two water board ones, that's my portfolio, and I visited with our chairman Newberger yesterday, and I would like to look at both of those first before we do that, so I'd like to postpone those.
I would make a motion to approve the other applicants.
So we have two applicants into one position for the special assessments.
Oh, okay, we just had the one first, okay.
I'm gonna make a motion on that one. One of them specifically is for that, and the other one, would you prefer to serve? We have one opening?
Yes, and I spoke with Jeff, because I was directed by the commission to give him a call to see if he would be interested in that board. He said he would be interested in that board.
I think give Travis a chance, and I'm gonna tell you why. He comes to the meetings, he beats up on us a lot. Maybe he'll have a meeting, we'll schedule the meetings right.
I would second that.
There we go.
Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Woodcox.
Yes.
Commissioner Munson.
Yes.
Commissioner Bakken.
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab.
Yes.
Chairman Bittner.
Yes, motion carries. I was wondering if this Jeff guy has a CPA. He's got bachelor's, double major in accounting and business.
Well, the one thing I would say is, thank you for the applicants and anybody who's willing to serve, especially if, like in Travis's case, who does engage us a great deal, which I do appreciate. The best way to learn how things work and why some things don't is to be part of the system.
Yeah,
So
involved. What about that water resource board, though?
We're gonna,
What was-
I just asked to postpone that till next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we have 2 applicants for 1 position, and I haven't looked at 1 application yet.
Oh, I see, okay. Sounds good to me.
Haven't met with them yet.
Okay. Down to other business. Any other business for the good of Burleigh County? There was something I was supposed to bring up, but I forgot it now.
Did you see that
Summit?
email from Taylor this morning?
What's
Did
that?
you see that email from Taylor this morning that you were thinking of?
Yeah. Did you understand what the thing was? There's some confusion here regarding Guardian and Protective Services and public administrator. I think we'll need Taylor to be here, and I think we should invite the person that sent the email concerning the different duties. There's some kind of question about the duties and who's paying for what. And when we did our budget this year, as far as I remember, we discontinued the budget for the public administrator because that, or Guardian and Protective Services, or whatever that was called, we discontinued that budget because the state of North Dakota has taken over those functions, those
Correct.
costs. And so I forwarded that email to Aaron Burst from North Dakota Association of Counties, because he's the person that was directly involved in that, and that legislation that created the Office of Guardianship and Conservatorship. And so while the bill that created the OMB bill, somehow or another, the Association of Counties was handling the funding, through them. But now the funding will be held through Office Management and Budget. And there was 2 different bills, as far as the one bill established the office and a different bill established the funding for it. So there's a confusion between the current Guardian services and what the state is actually doing. So I think the best bet would be to invite both of them, the Scott, is it? And
Yeah, Mr.
Aaron,
Bernstein.
or his recommended person, Aaron Burst from North Dakota Association of Counties, because he would be certainly the most knowledgeable about what went on there.
Are we supposed to function as a pass-through and still budget it and with a reimbursement?
See,
Or
it's-
that was the confusing part. to
Yeah,
me.
that's the part I don't know. I don't think so. I believe, from my understanding,
Direct payment from the state.
right, it's he says, I'm not sure what gaps we'll be doing for the county outside of what they already are getting paid for and will in the future. So that payment is all apparently taken care of. But I think that if there's any question between those positions, we should get it directly from the people who have those questions, rather than us just kind of speculating, because I believe it's taken care of. Is that a pretty good assessment? You got anything else to add?
Based on what I read on the email, I think Mr. Bernstein is of the opposite mindset, but I
Right.
think it'd probably be best is to get both parties here to discuss it.
Right, okay. I think that's a good path. We'll put that on the agenda. And would you make the appropriate invitations, please?
Was Aaron going to work through legislative council or what the directive of that bill was? Because that might be something.
It's already been done, as
I-
far as
I know it
the way I
was, but-
understand it.
Wouldn't be the first time language got in the way of a piece of legislation. So their intent of what Aaron worked on versus what actually came through and what OMB is sitting with, is that where it needs to get reclamated, or is it actually us?
I can't answer that.
Yeah,
Not if
so
you're
that
asking
might
me.
be, in your discussion with Aaron, maybe it would be beneficial to have somebody from OMB that's running that program involved as well. So we have
Okay,
clarification.
Mark, you think you could contact OMB also? See
Why
if-
not?
See if there's somebody there that, would have some kind of.
CPA, you mean?
Yeah, well, it is Office of Management and Budget,
Yes, it is.
I'll reach out to them.
yeah.
They poach from us, so.
Okay, so we'll have that on the agenda anyway, so we can discuss it. Anything else?
Yeah,
Commissioner
quick
Woodcock?
question. Our budget's coming up quickly, and we're gonna be behind the eight ball. Is the finance department in charge of the budget? Finance department? Or is, it's not the auditor, it's what, it's the finance department?
Finance or treasurer?
Treasurer, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
um,
or,
So,
we're
yeah,
gonna, because we're gonna have to dig into that quickly, and we need somebody to run the ship, so to speak. Who would be the,
Well, the clearest answer to begin with would be a combination of Taylor and probably Britton and the other staff
okay.
at this point. The most knowledgeable, I think.
Yep.
sure.
But that would also kind of fall to this position that
Right,
we're talking about tonight.
yeah, the consultancy.
Well, that's what I'm concerned about, our consultant or CPA firm come in, are they gonna be handling the budget?
I
Assisting
think they'll
with,
have to be part of it.
yeah, absolutely part of
Certainly
it.
involved.
Commissioner Woodcox, where are we at with the 250th?
I visited with the mayor and the city administrator both, I think last week, maybe a little bit before, and there was concern about that parking lot on the south side of the Provident Life Building, of them using it for some reason, to put a building up. We heard that it might be a office building or something, and both of them indicated there was no plans at all in the next few years, whatever that might be, or in the foreseeable future, is what they said, of using that parking lot other than a parking lot. So they both said, fine, go ahead and do what we're doing, so.
And then any
That's where I am.
conversations with the state as far as coordinating between county, city, and state?
No, not yet.
Okay.
There's gonna be a lot of things going on, I know that. So,
Do you think it would behoove us to working with the state?
oh, absolutely. We've already had visitations with them. I had one 3-4 months ago, and they were excited about the opportunity, but we have not coordinated what the governor's gonna be doing, or what, that type of thing, whether he's gonna be, or, because we'll have a presentation of some kind, and we haven't have a date. We haven't heard of anybody else having a date, too, other than Trump's gonna be here, weird.
Have you got any other information on how something would be attached to that building? Because I know from a structural perspective, we got real concern with any kind of moisture infiltration or anything in the brick.
They've got that information. I don't have it myself, but
I see.
you want me to bring it to you,
Yeah,
to show it to you?
get an update,
No
so we can
problem.
kind of, because if there's anything that's going to harm the building, we can't do that.
Okay.
I mean,
I know they're working with the general contractor on the Provident building already. They've had a meeting with him, maybe 10 days or 2 weeks ago. That brings up another question. Any problems we've had with the budget on the Provident construction? No surprises yet?
oh, there's been
Like we'll
surprises.
like
Yeah,
we'll
there's been
usually have.
surprises. We had some additional asbestos work that needed to be that needed to be resolved. We had issues with, some water water coming through the wall, through some conduit. Apparently, at some point in the future, that nobody let us know about it, or there was no record of it. That one day the staff was in there and water was pouring in through a conduit that was coming in from the outside of the building. And they traced it down, they moved a bunch of snow and traced it down to when that Bizman Online was in there. They had somebody run some fiber optics into there for their service. And the box had gravel in the bottom of it, but it was all frozen, and with the hot spell, or there was a flash melt, and it filled that box up, and it was running it to the tune of hundreds of gallons of water was running into the building that we never had any idea on. So they obviously had to get on that and work on getting all that stopped, and we think that's under control. There was issues about matching finishes. The architects kind of neglected to address what do you do when you tear out a wall and move it and put a new wall here, what do you do to match those finishes? And so we had to make a decision on, match finishes where needed, and if it's not, it's not someplace that you can see it directly, then maybe leave the one and kind of use your best judgment on what needs to be matched and what doesn't. We ran into some structural problems with concrete, and that's still being looked at by a structural engineer. We don't know much about that yet. Had to do with toilets and whether you do floor mount or wall mount toilets, and we're not going for wall mount toilets, I can tell you. And we don't want that. There's issues. I've asked for 2 issues I've asked Mary to put 2 issues on the next agenda for the county commission meeting. And we'll see that when it comes out for the agenda packet. One of them is the elevators. There's, after we went through, there's part of the bid package is to modify the elevators somewhat, to do kind of a dress up on them. Well, it turns out after they did some evaluations that obviously some of the equipment is so old that you can't get parts and such anymore for it. So it kind of led into, do we remove that from the project and do a separate bid for actually upgrading the elevators, which is, well, we'll get the information, but, we've been having problems with the elevator kind of locking up mid, like somebody goes to push the button and it goes part way and then stops, and everybody's getting kind of scared of that. And so that's something, and there's some wiring kind of issues, but those things will be on the agenda for the next meeting. So that kind of an update. Any other, Commissioner Munson?
About where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, we're into some of the contingency funding, but at this point we're not into nothing major.
Change orders and.
Yeah, just small, basically small stuff.
Are we still on the timeline as far as starting to move some departments over? Because
they're actually doing real well.
I keep promising HR they're going to get to go.
Yeah, they're going to get daylight. They're going to
get windows back.
Yeah, they're going to be really nice windows too. They're going to really love their new space. So
We talk about the next meeting being January 20th. It's a Tuesday, not a Monday, because Monday's a holiday.
Oh,
So I discovered this the other day talking to the auditor, and I thought it was something I should make sure I mention here,
yeah.
so that we're all not showing up for Monday for a meeting.
I appreciate that.
Mr.
All right.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Woodcock.
another thing to mention, Commissioner Schwab had a birthday a couple days ago, so happy birthday to you.
I've had too many birthdays already.
Now you're the same age as Jerry?
What's that?
Now you're the same age as
I
Jerry?
can't catch him.
I want to arm wrestle you, boy, I'll take you on.
No way, you'd win. But thank you.
Was that a motion to sing, or please say no?
Okay, gentlemen, we're kind of digressing. We are adjourned. Thank you, Commissioner.